All right, so you want to learn how to do bent arm handstand press, frog to handstand combination, plyometric handstands on higher objects. Well, this involves a fair amount of bent arm strength. So obviously you have to have a pretty good amount of push strength. You can't expect to push yourself up into a handstand from a frog hold if you can barely do about 10 push-ups. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta start with that. We're gonna start with the basic push-up and make sure your form is good. So first exercise are just push-ups, handstands shoulder width, handstands, hands, arms about shoulder width apart. An important thing with your push-up is to make sure that you're holding your posterior pelvic tilt. Look at my hip. See, your butt should not be out like this. This is wrong. But rather, squeeze your glutes, tilt your pelvic backwards, so you're holding that flat lower back. I'm squeezing my glutes really tight. I'm squeezing my abs really tight. We're gonna go down, keeping our elbows close to our side. Push up. If you can only go to a 90 degree, that's fine. But eventually, work your way through the fullest range of motion till your chest can touch the ground. Then up. When you push up, if you want to make it a little harder, you can add a shoulder protraction where you push your shoulders away from your spine, like that. So at the end, deep retraction, shoulders coming together. At the top, shoulders coming apart. And the entire time I'm doing the push-up, I'm squeezing my abs really tight and my glutes are squeezed very, very tight. Like another trainer once said, so tight that you can hold a dollar bill in between your butt cheeks. So think of that. Squeezing your glutes really tight. Posterior pelvic tilt and engage. My abs are squeezed tight. And that's going to make your push-up a lot more harder and a lot more efficient for you. So do those. Make sure you do them nice and controlled. It's not about how fast you can do them. It's about how clean you can do them, how clean your form is, and just make them count. So that's the first exercise that you should be doing. The very basic yet very important push-up, and make every push-up count. Remember, it's about quality, not quantity. But make sure you can do about 15 of those really clean form, 15 to 20 without breaking your good form. The next exercise you should be doing are pike push-ups. So a pike push-up looks like this. Now, some people do them with their heads directly under their arms like this. And that's probably an easier way to start. In fact, that's a lot easier. But the way I like to do them is by bringing my head and my chest more out at an angle, adding more of a range of motion. So instead of this, I come out to here. See how far I can go. Then push myself back. The reason why I prefer to do it that way, because when you're doing a handstand push-up, a real handstand push-up, not one of those ones where your head is like directly under your hands like this, where there's hardly any range of motion, but a deep range of motion handstand push-up where your body comes at an angle and your chest and your head come forward and you push yourself back. It's a lot more similar to the way that I do the pike push-ups. It translates over better. Same thing when you're doing a frog. See how I'm in a frog? I'm gonna push to a handstand. My chest comes a little forward and I come down. When I push up and when I come down, my chest is a little slightly forward. I'm never directly between my hands like that. So therefore, when you do pike push-ups, don't do them directly between your hands unless that's just the way you have to start off at first and then progress to making them deeper and deeper. And the closer your feet are to your hands, the harder it's going to be. The further away they are, the easier it's going to be. And the thing to keep in mind when doing your pike push-ups is not to let your elbows flare out. Don't go like this. Always keep your elbows close to your side as possible. All right, keep it as close to your side as possible like this, or even like this. Just never like this. Same goes for your normal push-ups as well. The next progression will be decline pike push-ups. So, same thing as a pike push-up, just with our feet. Our feet is elevated. Now that requires a good amount of push strength. Definitely much harder than the normal pike push-up. So practice that. Even if your feet are only on like a book at first and you gotta stack books, and you stack objects up higher and higher, practice that. That's gonna increase your push strength dramatically, and it's gonna help you getting used to pushing your body up at that deep angle, so you can eventually work on pressing yourself up from a bent arm press, or eventually work your way into handstand push-ups. All right, so we got the push-up, the pike push-up, and the decline pike push-up. The next exercise I'm going to show you are the monkey hops. You just come down in a deep squat like this, and if we're going right, we're going to place our left hand in front of our right foot, and then jump across elegantly, gracefully. Now this is very important because you can work on eventually holding it before you touch the ground. So at first you're like, so hard. It is a workout. In fact, it's burning my legs. So practice the monkey hop because it's just like doing a bent arm press with a kind of a jumping start. Practice with those bent arms, and then practice straightening your arms out. And just practice holding bent arms. So that's two ways you can practice your monkey hops. Just by monkey hopping around from bent arm to straight arm, and from just holding a bent arm hop. Monkey hops are exhausting. Great workout. Great for working on that bent arm push strength. All right, so the push-up, the pike push-up, the decline pike push-up, and the monkey hops. These are all going to help you with your bent arm push strength. And so the final exercise, final thing I want you to practice looks like this. So you're going to stand with your legs far apart, straddle position. You're going to lean over. You can be fairly forward. If you lean forward like this, that's okay. If your toes, if your heels come off the ground, that's all right too. Just have your legs spread far apart. Come down, touch the ground like about right here. Your hands should be directly under your shoulders. Not like this, not like this, but so hands directly under your shoulders, not like this, not like this, just like this. And we're gonna start bending our arms and lifting ourselves up onto our tippy toes until our feet come off the ground for a second. And we're just gonna hold that, and we're gonna bring ourselves back down to our feet. So if I'm like this, now if I just lean forward and bend my arms at the same time, my feet are automatically going to come off the ground. See that? So it's just like we're doing a deep stretch. Then we're going to come down. And we're going to lean forward. We're going to bend our arms. We're going to hold that flex really strong. And if we need to, we're going to kind of just go open our legs out to the sides or come up onto our tippy toes until our feet come off the ground. So one more time, slowly, like this. I'm going to start kind of leaning forward and bending my arms. So it's going to look like that. Almost like a pike push-up with our legs spread. But we're going to try to lean forward enough and pop our legs out to the side and get them off the ground. So what helps is if you're coming down and with both legs, look at this leg. You just go like, you try to bring them out further. As soon as you lean as far as you can go. Then come back. Got it? Practice that. And practice holding it for as long as you can. It's a really good exercise. Because eventually, you're going to be able to bring your feet together or get your feet higher and higher into the air, hold the pose longer. All those things are going to help you build your strength and body control. The wall. Wasn't the best bent arm press, but you'll get it, you'll work your way up, and it'll get better and better. Do those exercises and don't stop doing them. Never stop doing them throughout your entire fitness journey. All right? Whew. Time for me to go get my workout in. All right, guys, lift yourselves, keep working hard, don't give up.